Hello friends, welcome back to Simply Clouded. In the last video, I had shown you how to run your own Jenkins service on your Fargate cluster with a task definition, with a Docker image. And I got certain queries where people had asked me that we were using ephemeral IP address, which means whenever we restarted our task or whenever we restarted our service on our cluster, it basically change the IP address, and to basically use DNS or to use load balancer, you need to set up the service with the load balancer. Please note that you cannot add a load balancer to your service later on. Once the service has been created, it has to be recreated for you to be able to add a load balancer. So now the prerequisite for this particular video is that you go and you create your own application load balancer first. Just provision an application load balancer with a basic port 80 listener, and then we'll now launch the Jenkins service behind a load balancer so that we do not care about changing IP addresses. So what we'll do is we'll create a new service. We'll choose Fargate. We'll choose all the options that we chose earlier, and this time we'll name it Jenkins ALB. Now the number of tasks is 1, and the only difference this time is that when I select my VPC and my multiple subnets, and of course, with demos, I usually choose to use a security group which allows all traffic, but of course, you can limit to the traffic to your application specific port. I'll assign the public IP, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to use an application load balancer. So now if I select application load balancer, it enables certain options for me to add options. The first thing is the load balancer that I want. The second is the container, which it pulls from the task definition, where I already mapped port 8080 with port 8080. Now we're going to map the port 80 of the ALB listener with this port 8080. If we go to the next, so now we're trying to add this container to the load balancer. So now it is asking me for a listener port. I'm just going to choose the 80 listener that I've already created while creating my application load balancer. I will create a new target group called ECS Fargate Jenkins ALB. And you can also select an existing, but you have to go there and you have to create one. The protocol is HTTP, and I want to select the path. I'll just select the default path, and you can choose your own path in terms of if you have a DNS or a particular A record or C record already created in Route 53, you can choose the path pattern. I'm choosing a pattern where every request is routed to this particular target group. Once I've done all this, I can just go ahead, I can go to the next step, and I can basically create the service. Once I have created the service, it automatically creates a rule behind my load balancer and my target group. If I go to my load balancer now, and if I refresh it, and if I go to edit rules, it would have added a rule. It would have added a rule with priority 1 to forward all traffic on port 80 to the port 8080 mapped target group behind this load balancer. Now, no matter what the IP address of my services task, so we'll check if my service has placed the task inside it based on the count. So it's still in the pending state. I won't be able to access it. Let me pause the video and come back until it becomes active. If you notice, the task is now in running state. So the earlier approach that I had was I would navigate to the task and I will copy the public IP. I'll pass the port 8080 to it. Now, since I have a port 80 listener already talking with my container running on port 8080, all I can do is copy the DNS name of my application load balancer, go into the browser and paste it, and it will directly take me to my application task or the task which is running the application. So right now it's unavailable. Let's wait a couple of minutes for it to spring up and let's come back. After waiting for a couple of seconds, now my load balancer navigates to my Jenkins home page. So try it at your end, guys, and also ensure that when you go to your target groups, your target shows healthy. because if it shows unhealthy, it will give you an error. Happy learning, guys. Launch your own applications. Write back for any comments or any queries in the description. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe for more such videos at Simply Clouded. To subscribe our channel, please hit the bell icon at the bottom.